Rangers supporters gather round because there is plenty to break down after a night that stirred every emotion possible. The latest performance has reopened an uncomfortable conversation around the defensive standards, and the noise coming from former players has only added fuel to an already tense situation. What unfolded on the pitch left many wondering how a match that seemed to be under control for long spells suddenly slipped through Rangers' fingers in such avoidable fashion, especially after a week filled with pressure and expectation. The mood before kickoff had been one of cautious, hard optimism. Changes in the lineup hinted at a desire to freshen things up, with Mctominay stepping into the left side, Danilo returning to the attack, and JD Gassama offering something different out wide. The decision came after a difficult result at the weekend, and there was an attempt to mix both fresh legs and fresh mindsets to get the team back on track. Supporters understood the logic. Matches have come thick and fast, and the squad needs rotation, but there was also the feeling that the team desperately needed a strong reaction. For a while, it looked like they would get exactly that. Rangers started with more purpose, moving the ball quickly and trying to force Dundee United into mistakes. There were promising spells, especially early in the second half, when the visiting side seemed to grow into the match and looked far more assertive. The build-up play had more flow, the pressing was sharper, and the movement off the ball suggested a group desperate to take control. It felt like only a matter of time before they found the breakthrough that would settle the match, silence the noise, and inject some belief back into the dressing room. But football rarely follows the script you expect, and the turning point arrived with a moment that left everyone in blue shaking their heads. Dundee United earned a corner after what many felt was a blatant offside in the build-up, something that Danny Rowe pointed out afterward with clear frustration. He insisted he was not looking for excuses, but his description of the United player standing 2 meters beyond the defensive line before delivering the cross had supporters nodding along in agreement. Still, that mistake alone did not doom Rangers. What followed was a sequence that summed up the deeper issues haunting the team. The corner came swinging in, and instead of a decisive clearance, hesitation crept into the Rangers' backline. The ball bounced, bodies froze, and Dundee United kept the pressure on. Then came the moment that defined the match. Amar Fata glided through a cluster of half-hearted challenges before calmly placing his finish beyond the goalkeeper. It was a composed strike, but the path he took to get there was far too easy. The defending lacked conviction, lacked bite, lacked any sense of urgency. You could almost feel the belief drain from the visiting players as the home crowd erupted. When former Rangers favourite Neil McCann analysed the goal afterwards, his disappointment was obvious. He highlighted the errors one by one, pointing out moments where a stronger tackle, a firmer clearance, or even just a touch more assertiveness could have erased the danger entirely. His frustration echoed what supporters have been feeling for weeks. Rangers do not look convincing when defending under pressure. They are losing individual duels far too easily, allowing opponents to reach loose balls first, and showing a worrying lack of aggression inside their own box. For a team that aims to push for the top positions, this simply cannot continue. Even among the criticism, Jayden Mctominay did earn praise as one of the few bright spots, bringing energy and consistency on the left side. But one solid performance cannot mask collective issues. The backline looked stretched, the midfield struggled to offer proper protection, and the overall shape fell apart far too often. When Rangers do not defend well as a unit, every attack against them becomes dangerous, and that pattern showed itself repeatedly throughout the match. at Tannadice. Every time Dundee United pushed forward, there was a sense of unease, as if one misplaced pass or mistimed challenge could open the door wide again. What has made this moment even more frustrating for supporters is the league situation. Rangers have now drawn their last 2 matches, and those drop points are coming at the worst possible time. The gap to the top has widened to 9 points, and the team remains stuck in 4th place, unable to build the momentum needed to climb. Defensive frailties are affecting the entire squad. When the back line looks unstable, the forwards are forced to chase matches instead of playing with freedom. The midfield spends more time recovering possession than creating. The whole system tightens up, and the confidence drains away. Danny Rowe knows changes are needed. Whether that means rotating senior players, turning to younger options, or waiting for reinforcements in January, something must shift. The current pattern cannot continue without severe consequences for the season. Kilman are coming to Ibrox next, and going into that fixture with the same defensive approach carries enormous risk. The supporters understand the pressure, but they also expect a response worthy of the shirt. As the squad prepares for an important run of fixtures, another issue has begun to loom large over the manager's plans. Rangers are bracing themselves for the departures of Nasser Jagger and Mohamed Diamande, who will soon report for international duty. Both players have been crucial in different phases of the season, providing balance, energy, and moments of decisive quality in matches where margins were razor-thin. Losing them, even temporarily, adds yet another layer of difficulty to a team already battling inconsistency and searching for rhythm. With the Africa Cup of Nations approaching, the timing could hardly be more disruptive. The tournament will take place in Morocco and stretch from Sunday, the 21st of December, until Sunday, the 18th of January, giving the club a month-long stretch where squad depth will be tested to its limits. Normally, clubs are required to release players earlier, but with the new rules confirmed, Rangers can at least count on Jagger and Diamande for the Europa League trip to Ferencváros on Thursday, the 11th of December. That small piece of relief does not fully solve the bigger problem, though. Once they depart, Rangers will be forced to adapt in areas of the pitch where they can least afford to be short. Jagger's physical presence and ability to break lines with powerful runs have been vital when trying to transition quickly, especially in matches where the opposition sit deep and refuse to open up space. His strength in midfield battles, combined with his instinct to carry the ball forward, has often been the spark that pushes Rangers into more dangerous positions. Without him, the team risks losing that directness, and the midfield will have to adjust, whether that means leaning on more technical players or pushing someone into a more advanced role remains to be seen. But it is clear that his absence will be felt. Diamande brings an entirely different profile, one rooted in work rate, intelligence, and a calmness under pressure. His ability to take the ball in tight spaces, recycle possession, and break up play without drawing unnecessary fouls has made him a stabilizing force in the center of the pitch. He does the work that often goes unnoticed, but becomes glaringly essential when it is missing. His departure will strip Rangers of that anchor, and the manager knows the balance will need to be rebuilt quickly. With the fixtures coming thick and fast during the festive period, the margin for error grows smaller with every match. There is already talk among supporters about how these absences will be managed, and questions are being asked about whether younger players could be trusted to step up. The January window still feels distant, and relying on transfer solutions has never been a safe plan in the middle of a demanding season. Whoever fills the gaps will need to match the intensity and reliability that both Jagger and Diamande bring. And that is no small expectation. The coaching staff are aware of what is coming and have begun the process of reshaping roles, adjusting workloads, and preparing different combinations for the moment. The squad is stretched to its breaking point. On top of the upcoming international departures, there is also the matter of injuries beginning to accumulate. Oliver Antman remains sidelined, and his absence continues to rob the team of another attacking dimension. Supporters had grown used to seeing his bursts of energy, his direct dribbling, and his willingness to take risks in the final third. Without him, the wing play has lacked some unpredictability. It is difficult to replace the instinct of a player who thrives on one-against-one situations, especially when the alternatives are still adjusting to the demands of regular top-flight football. Taylor Asgard and Max Ahrens have also been in and out of the lineup, and their availability changes the dynamic of how the team builds from the back. Ahrens had put together a strong run of matches at left-back, offering composure and improving noticeably under the current coaching staff. His absence meant Magome took on a heavier load, and while he handled it admirably, maintaining stability across an entire backline requires more than one dependable performance. Asgard, on the other hand, has shown flashes of quality, but still struggles with consistency, something that becomes even more glaring when the team is already wobbling defensively. The mounting pressure is not limited to individual availability. The atmosphere around Ibrox has grown increasingly restless. Supporters want to see urgency, desire, and a sense of togetherness that has felt missing in crucial moments. They want to watch a team that responds fiercely when challenged, not one that hesitates under pressure. This tension is feeding into every match now, and the players can feel the weight of expectation pressing on them. Each misplaced pass, each hesitant clearance, and each late game lapse draws louder reactions from the stands. The demand for improvement is relentless, and rightly so. Rangers find themselves caught in a difficult cycle. The defence struggles to hold firm, which places extra pressure on the midfield. The midfield becomes stretched, which limits the service to the forwards. The forwards drop deeper to find space, which reduces their presence in the final third. It becomes a chain reaction where one problem fuels another, and breaking that cycle requires both tactical clarity and individual conviction. The coaching staff understand this, and training sessions in the past week have reportedly focused heavily on restoring defensive organization, tightening the lines, and ensuring that second balls are contested with far more aggression. The players themselves know that performances must improve. Comments from inside the dressing room suggest an honest recognition of what is going wrong. There is no hiding from the fact that recent results have fallen well below the standard expected at the club. Draws that should have been wins, leads that evaporated due to lapses in concentration, opportunities wasted because the decision-making was hesitant or rushed. These are the margins that separate title contenders from teams stuck in mid-table frustration, and Rangers have too much quality to remain trapped in this pattern. What the team needs now is a performance that resets everything, something that reignites belief among the supporters and restores confidence inside the squad. A match where the defensive line holds firm, where midfield battles are won decisively, where the forwards play with purpose instead of desperation, a night where everything finally clicks again. It does not have to be perfect, it just has to be convincing. That alone could change the entire trajectory of the season. With Kilman heading to Ibrox next, there could hardly be a more important moment to show character. They will come organised, disciplined, and ready to punish any hesitation. Rangers must meet that challenge with aggression and clarity. The players will need to stand tall, win their duels, control the tempo, and show the kind of determination that has defined the club at its best. Supporters want to feel that connection again, that sense of fighting for every inch, every pass, every moment. And with international departures looming, injuries stacking up, and pressure rising by the day, the response cannot wait. The next match is not just another fixture, it is a test of resilience, identity, and ambition. And the coming weeks will show whether this squad is ready to push through adversity or be consumed by it. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Whispers drifted across Govan last night like a sharp wind off the Clyde, carrying a tale that has set Rangers supporters buzzing from the wee pubs to the grandstands. Word is that Scott Mctominay, long admired for his grit and thunder in midfield, is on the brink of arriving at Ibrox in what insiders are calling a colossal agreement. Nothing's been nailed to the board, nothing carved in stone, yet the murmur grows louder by the hour, as if the whole city has leaned in for a better listen. Folk close to the player insist he's been seeking a fresh spark, a place where his drive could anchor a team hungry for muscle and presence in the centre of the park. And in the corridors of the Rangers hierarchy, there's a sense, never admitted, always hinted, that they've been circling this opportunity for some time. The thought of a Scotland international pulling on the royal blue again has punters grinning into their pints, imagining the roar that would greet him the first time he strides out the tunnel. Some claim the negotiations have already surged past the usual back and forth, reaching the stage where only formalities stand between rumour and revelation. Others swear the club remains tight-lipped, wary of letting excitement gallop too far ahead of reality. Yet every whispered word seems to push the story forward, as though the city itself has decided the move should happen. What's certain is that the chatter won't quiet anytime soon. Mctominay's name is now woven into conversations on every corner, from taxi ranks to training pitches, each telling carried with that familiar Scottish mix of hope, skepticism, and bold dreaming. Whether this towering deal becomes truth or slips back into the fog of speculation, one thing's clear: Rangers supporters haven't felt a rumble like this in a long while, and the idea of Mctominay anchoring their midfield has stirred something fierce in the heart of Ibrox. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.